Hello guys, welcome to my channel again. Today I'm going to show you how to make a shirt. So this is the drafting part. This is the first video of the shirt course series. This is a paid course I'm putting out for free to celebrate my 10,000 subscribers. So if you've not subscribed, please do well to subscribe. Let's get started. Alright guys, so I'm using a paper to show the drafting. So if you're using a fabric, you're going to fold your fabric into two. So I'm using a paper, so I'm using just a single paper. All right, so if you are folding it, the one at the top, you're going to fold it this way, like this. Then the one that is going to be on the under, and the fold is going to be 1.5 inch. You can see 1.5 inch, and then the one that's going to be under, be folded under like this, and also going to be 1.5 inch. So both the one at the top and the one at the bottom will be 1.5 inch, both of them. So you can see 1.5 inch. So I'll just iron. Of course, if you're using a fabric, you're going to iron it. This is a paper, so I'm just using my hand to create a folding. So this is the measurement I'm using. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to divide my chest by 4, which is 10 in this case, and then I'll add 1 inch for seaming allowance, and then I'll add another 1 inch, which I will explain to you what is used for in the course of this tutorial. So I just know that divide the chest into 4, and then add 2 inches. Out of the 2 inches, 1 is for seaming allowance, and then 1 is, like I said, I'm going to show you what they are used for. All right, so this is it. So I'm just going to rule a line like this. I'll just extend the line downwards like this. So just stick with me to the end of this tutorial. I'm going to teach you step by step how to sew a shirt from the beginning. Of course, this is the drafting to the end. So this is 3.5, and then I'll just use that 3.5 to get a slant like this, and that is my shoulder slant. So you see a little similarities with the way I cut my kaftan. So I just use the middle of the shoulder to get my full length. So my full length is 27. Then I'll add 1 inch for the folding allowance of the down of the shirt. Of course, this 1 inch is too much for folding allowance, so it's actually one out of the 1 inch, half inch for the folding allowance, and then half inch is for is used when you are joining the shoulder to the back pattern. So you can see there 1 inch is gone. So I'm going to mark 2.5 where I will use to create my curve. So you can see I'm using freehand because I've been doing it for a long time. If you're not comfortable using freehand, you can use a French curve to get this curve at the bottom. So of course there are some shirts where the down is straight, so you don't need to get this curve. There's like beach wears, the down is straight, so they are still shirts but the down are just straight. So I'll just go ahead and cut it out like this. So this is the front pattern and this is how it is. So I'll just use this front pattern to get the back pattern. Of course, you must have noticed there's no armhole yet, and then there's no neck, and I've not used my shoulder measurement yet. I just got what I need to get, and that is all. So I'll just use the front pattern to get my back pattern. So I'm going to fold it. This is how you fold your fabric when you're cutting the back pattern. So I'm going to fold it using the paper. You can see it. I just fold it like this and use my hand to press it down. Then I'll bring my paper. So at this point, I'm going to remember my chest was 40. My chest is 40, and then out of the 40, I divided 40 by 4, and I got 10. That's for the chest, and I got 10 inches. Now I added 2 inches, right? And I said 1 of the inches is for the seam allowance, and then the other 1 inch I added is for out of the 1 inch, 3/4 inch is for the overlapping allowance of the front. You know, it's a shirt, so the left part is going to come over the right part, so it's for the overlap allowance, and then the remaining 1/4 inch is for the trim allowance. I call it the trim allowance. You understand what I mean by the trim allowance. So let's get to it, and you see what I mean when we start sewing. So just put it at the back of your mind. So when I'm cutting, I'm just going to leave out the overlapping allowance, which is 3/4 inch. You can see it, 3/4 inch for the overlapping allowance which I left. So I'm bringing it out now when I'm cutting the front. So I'll just drag it down because I need about 4 inches at the top. So you can see I'm bringing out my 3/4 inch of the overlapping allowance. You can see, so I just use my scissors to hold the paper down because it's shifting. It's paper, it's not fabric, so it's just shifting. So I'll put my tape like this and mark 4 inch, and then I'll come up here and mark 4 inches as well. So I'll use my scissors. Sorry, I'm going to use my ruler to rule a line. Then of course I'll use my scissors to cut it out. Of course, you can use your paper like this to draft first, or you can just draft it straight up to the fabric. Of course, if I'm sewing, the truth is I draft directly to my fabric. I don't use paper mostly to draft. So I'll make sure that I'll fold it like this and make sure it overlaps by half. You can see it overlaps by half. You can see it here, it overlaps by half. Now this is where I'll now measure my shoulder measurement. So I remember my shoulder was 17, which is 8.5. Then we'll add ½ inch for seaming allowance of the shoulder, which is 9. So we'll just put it, slanted like this is 9, but we'll put it straight and see what we have, which is 9.5. Then we'll put it here and measure it, and we measure whatever you get when you measure this straight and you put it like that and rule your line. I hope you got this part. If you don't, just go back and rewatch it. So I'm going to use my bicep measurement, my bicep or my muzzle. My bicep is 14, which is divided by 2 is 7, and then you're going to add either 1 inch or 1.5. If you want it to be fitted, you add 1 inch. If you want it to have a little space, you add 1.5. So in this case, I added 1.5, which will give me 8.5. That's to get this chest line from the shoulder line, right? So I'll use my French curve to get my armhole. So let me just adjust it. Yeah. So I'll just use my French curve to get my armhole, to get a perfect armhole like this. You can see it. There you go. So the next thing is to get my neck, and I have a video on how to get a perfect neck. If you don't know how to get a perfect neck, I will leave the link on the description of this video so that you can go and watch it. So I don't want to go over it again, so I'll just use my marker to get the neck. The neck I want to get is 16.5, and you see it based on what I taught you initially. By the time I measure it, is going to give me my 16.5. You see, it's supposed to give me 16.5. You can see that's 8 1/4 times 2 is 16.5. So that is that. So if you're wondering how I got it exactly like this, I have a video that explains how to get a perfect neck like this. So for the down of the shirt, there are some shirts where the back and the front are equal. Well, I usually like my shirt. I usually like the back of my shirt to be longer than the front, so I'll put it this way. In fact, if I was sewing for myself, I usually like the back to be longer than the front with about 4 to 5 inches. Yeah, it's called some people call it TM. I don't know why, but that's that. So that is it. That is how to cut the front and the back pattern. So I'll just measure the armhole, and what I'm measuring is the front part of the armhole, not the back. It's the front part of the armhole, and we got 11 1/4, I guess. So I want to cut the sleeve now, and if you are cutting the sleeve, you are going to fold it times 4 so that you cut both the left and the right at the same time. I know you guys that cut the left hand differently and the right hand differently. I think that's actually stressful. You can just fold it times 4 times, fold it 4 times, and then so that you can cut left and right at the same time. So this place is straight, so I'm just going to measure 5 from this end, and then I'm going to draw a curve like this. Also, I've been doing this for a long time. That's why I can easily do it like this. If you don't know how to do it, you can use French cuff to get this cuff. So you can see that distance there is 5. Okay, so the distance, the length of my sleeve length, my sleeve length is 25, and then my wristband is 2.5. Now there's a formula to do this calculation. You know, if you don't do the calculation rightly, you might get the hand to be too long or too short. There's a formula which I will share in this screen, how to get the right final cut or the right cut line. This is the formula. You can just pause it and go through it. I don't want to start reading it. Just pause this video at this point and go through this formula, and I'm sure it's straight to the point you understand. So let's continue. So just draw your line, and then so if the width, the size of your cuff or wristband is in this case is 9. So you divide whatever the cuff or your wristband is divided by 2. In this case is 9. So if you divide it by 2, you are going to get 4.5. So if you mark your 4.5, then you add 1 inch for seaming allowance, then you add 1 inch again for the pleating that is always there at your shirt. And this is also applicable for kaftans. If you are sewing a long sleeve kaftan, this should give you a perfect sleeve of a kaftan, not too tight, not too fitted, not too tight, not too loose. This is the formula to get it. So 11 1/4 as we measure the armhole. Remember, we measure the armhole, we got 11 1/4. So when you are measuring that curve of your armhole of the sleeve, you put that same 11 1/4 you measured at the armhole. So that is how to cut a sleeve. So basically that's how to cut a shirt. Thank you so much for watching. If you've not subscribed, remember, please just hit the subscribe button, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.